Imagine like stepping into a world where everything you thought you knew about reality was like turned upside down. A world of hidden histories, advanced civilizations, and contact with beings from beyond our planet.
It's a journey that really challenges our perceptions and invites us to consider possibilities beyond our current, understanding.
Yeah, and that's what we're diving into today on The Quantum Soul.
Absolutely.
We're going to be exploring firsthand accounts from a group in Peru who claim to have experienced direct contact with extraterrestrial beings from a planet they call Apu.
Wow.
Their stories documented over several years go way beyond just, your typical UFO sightings. We're talking profound conversations about the nature of reality, the meaning of life, and humanity's place in the universe.
I think what makes these accounts so compelling is the level of detail and consistency of the messages over time.
Right.
Like, we're not dealing with vague interpretations or anything like that, but with specific descriptions of encounters, technologies, and even philosophical concepts.
So let's go way back to 1973, when this group first began experiencing contact.
Okay.
It started with automatic writing, which eventually led to face-to-face encounters with beings named Oxulk and Kadar.
It's interesting. The initial skepticism of the group is something I find relatable. They questioned their own sanity, wondered if they were imagining things, which I think is a natural response when confronted with the extraordinary unknowner.
Yeah, it's that part of us that wants to explore the unknown, but then that other part that steps in and says, hold on, wait a minute, is this real? Am I going crazy?
Exactly. It's that dance between faith and reason, between intuition and logic.
They described feeling like they were in a science fiction movie.
I can only imagine.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But what's even more mind-blowing is the way they communicated telepathically.
Whoa. No universal translators needed.
Nope, just pure mind-to-mind connection.
Telepathy has long been a topic of fascination and debate. Some dismiss it as pseudoscience, while others see it as a latent human ability waiting to be unlocked. These accounts, if true, raise fascinating questions about the nature of consciousness and the potential for non-physical communication.
It makes you wonder, what if we're only scratching the surface of what our minds are capable of? What if we could tap into a whole other level of communication beyond words and language?
It's a tantalizing possibility, isn't it? And one that aligns with certain spiritual traditions that emphasize the power of thought and intention.
The locations of these encounters add another mystique to the whole story.
For sure.
We're talking about Chilca, a desert region in Peru, and Marcahuasi, a remote plateau known for its mysterious ancient ruins.
It's as if these locations were chosen deliberately, as if they held a certain energetic significance.
Yeah.
Places like ancient ruins often evoke a sense of mystery, a connection to the past and to the unknown.
Right.
It's no coincidence that many cultures associate such places with spiritual power or otherworldly encounters.
Okay, so then there's this concept of the universal ecosystem that the beings from Apu introduced. It's like this massive interconnected web where everything in the universe is linked.
Think of it this way. Imagine the universe as a giant organism, with all its parts interconnected and interdependent.
Okay.
That's the essence of the universal ecosystem.
So where do humans fit into this universal ecosystem?
That is the question.
Well, the Apu beings had some interesting perspectives on that, calling humans man-rama, suggesting we see the world in reverse.
It's a critique of the human condition, really. They argue that our focus on survival and material pursuits has led us to prioritize the physical world over the spiritual.
So they're basically saying we've got our priorities backwards.
Yeah, pretty much. Instead of seeking the meaning of life, we're obsessed with just staying alive. And this limited perspective, they say, leads to many of the problems we see in the world today. Things like conflict, environmental destruction, and a sense of meaninglessness.
It's a sobering assessment.
It is, but also thought-provoking. It makes you wonder, have we become so consumed with the material world that we've lost sight of something essential?
Their words echo the sentiments of many philosophers and spiritual teachers throughout history who've warned against the dangers of materialism and the importance of seeking a higher purpose.
And it's a theme that runs through many myths and stories as well.
Like what?
Well, think of the Greek myth of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun with wings made of wax. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of ambition and the importance of balance.
Right, or the story of King Midas who wished for everything he touched to turn to gold.
Oh yeah, he got what he wanted, but ultimately realized the true value of human connection and the simple things in life.
These stories serve as reminders that true fulfillment comes not from material possessions, but from something deeper.
Yeah, from a sense of purpose, connection, and meaning.
And the Apu beings seem to be suggesting that this sense of meaning can be found by understanding our place in the universal ecosystem.
Right, by recognizing our interconnectedness with all things.
It's a shift in perspective, a move from an egocentric worldview to a more holistic, ecocentric one.
Exactly, they're inviting us to see ourselves not as separate from nature, but as part of it.
Before we dive deeper into their message, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to the Quantum Soul channel and give this video a like if you're finding this deep dive as fascinating as we are. Sharing it with others who might be interested helps us spread these ideas and explore these mind-bending concepts together.
It's through sharing and open dialogue that we can collectively expand our understanding and consider possibilities beyond the limitations of our current paradigms.
Now back to the Apu beings.
Right.
They didn't shy away from talking about the future, and they had some pretty dire warnings about the path humanity seems to be on.
Their warnings touch on some of the most pressing issues of our time: environmental degradation, societal division, and the potential for self-destruction.
They seemed especially concerned about the way we're treating our planet.
Yeah, they talked about the consequences of pollution, deforestation, and the depletion of natural resources.
It's a message that's being echoed by scientists and environmental activists around the world.
Right, the evidence is clear. Our current trajectory is unsustainable. We're pushing the planet to its limits, and the consequences could be catastrophic.
Yeah, their warnings about societal division also hit close to home.
Absolutely. We live in a world where polarization and conflict seem to be on the rise. It's like we've forgotten how to listen to each other, to find common ground, to build bridges instead of walls.
They seem to be suggesting that this division stems from a lack of understanding, from a failure to recognize our shared humanity and our interconnectedness.
For sure.
They also warned about the dangers of technology.
Yeah, suggesting that it can be both a tool for progress and a weapon of destruction.
We are seeing this play out in real time, aren't we?
Yeah, the rapid advancements in artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and cyber warfare raise profound ethical questions. It's a reminder that technology is not inherently good or bad, it's how we use it that matters.
It's like we've been given this incredibly powerful toolbox, but we haven't yet developed the wisdom to use it responsibly. And that's where their message about the importance of spiritual development comes in. They emphasize the need to cultivate qualities like compassion, empathy, and wisdom to guide our actions and shape our future.
It's a reminder that technological progress needs to be balanced with inner growth.
Yeah.
Without a corresponding evolution in consciousness, our technological advancements could lead to our own undoing.
It's like we need to upgrade our software, our inner operating system, to keep pace with the hardware we're creating.
That's a good way to put it.
But their message wasn't all doom and gloom.
No, not at all.
They also talked about the potential for humanity to evolve, to transcend its limitations, and to create a better future.
They seem to believe that we have a choice to make, a crossroads we're standing at. We can continue down the path of self-destruction, or we can choose a different path, one that leads to greater harmony, understanding, and connection.
And they offered some guidance on how to make that choice, didn't they? They talk about the importance of reconnecting with our true nature, of recognizing the spark of the divine within each of us.
They emphasize the need to cultivate our inner world, to develop our consciousness, to awaken to the interconnectedness of all things.
They also talked about the power of love, suggesting that it's not just an emotion, but a fundamental force in the universe, a force that can heal, transform, and unite.
It's a message that resonates with spiritual traditions throughout history, from the teachings of Jesus to the wisdom of the Buddha.
And it's a message that's perhaps more relevant now than ever before, as we face the unprecedented challenges of the 21st century.
It's a call to awaken to our true potential, to embrace our interconnectedness, and to create a future worthy of our highest aspirations. It's interesting how they connect this idea of spiritual development to the concept of paradigms.
Right. It's like our beliefs and assumptions about the world, like those paradigms, are actually shaping our reality.
Exactly. They suggest that our current paradigms are limiting our potential, kind of keeping us trapped in this cycle of conflict, suffering, and disconnection.
And they actually use a specific term, Zendra,
Okay.
which they describe as a portal or wormhole that can lead to other dimensions or even other star systems.
So the Zendra represents the possibility of transcending our current limitations, of breaking free from the constraints of our current paradigms,
Right.
and accessing, I guess, a higher level of understanding.
They describe traveling through a Zendra to a planet in the Alpha Centauri system. A journey filled with awe-inspiring visuals and encounters with advanced beings.
So it's a symbolic representation of the transformative journey we can undertake by expanding our consciousness, by challenging our assumptions, and opening ourselves to new possibilities.
And they suggest that this journey of transformation begins with understanding the power of paradigms.
Okay.
They actually gave a fascinating example, didn't they? Something about students building a fuel-efficient car?
Yes. They talked about a group of students who were challenged to design a car that could achieve incredible fuel efficiency.
Okay.
The students were initially stumped because they were operating within the existing paradigms of car mechanics.
They were stuck in a box, so to speak,
Yeah.
limited by their assumptions about what was possible.
Exactly. But then something shifted. The students started questioning those assumptions,
Right.
thinking outside the box, exploring unconventional approaches. And the result, they created a car that far exceeded everyone's expectations.
It's a perfect illustration of how breaking free from limiting paradigms can lead to breakthrough results.
And it's not just about technology or engineering. This principle applies to every aspect of our lives,
Right.
from our personal relationships to our understanding of the universe.
It's like that saying, you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created it.
Right.
We need to shift our perspective, change our paradigms to see new solutions and create new possibilities.
For sure, and the Apu beings suggest that one of the most limiting paradigms we hold is the belief in separation. The belief that we are separate from each other, separate from nature, separate from the universe.
They argue that this belief in separation is at the root of so many of our problems.
Yeah, it leads to conflict, competition, and a sense of isolation.
They contrast this with the understanding of interconnectedness that they experienced on Apu.
Yes, they describe a society where cooperation, harmony, and unity are like the guiding principles.
So it's like they're saying that separation is an illusion, a product of our limited perception.
Yeah, and by recognizing our interconnectedness, by embracing the understanding that we are all part of one web of life,
Right.
we can tap into a deeper level of wisdom and create a more harmonious world.
They also talk about the importance of aligning with universal laws.
Yes, they emphasize that the universe operates according to certain principles, certain laws that govern everything from the movement of planets to the interactions of human beings.
So it's like there's a set of rules to the game of life.
Exactly.
And when we understand those rules, we can play the game more effectively.
They describe these laws as principles of harmony, balance, and interconnectedness.
Okay.
They suggest that when we align our thoughts, actions, and intentions with these laws, we create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
They even talked about the law of attraction, right?
Yes, the idea that we attract into our lives what we focus on.
So our thoughts and beliefs have a powerful influence on our reality.
Exactly. By focusing on positive thoughts, cultivating gratitude, and aligning with our highest aspirations, we can create a more positive and fulfilling experience.
It's a concept that's gained a lot of attention in recent years, with books like The Secret popularizing the idea of manifesting our desires through the power of thought.
While the concept of the law of attraction can be oversimplified or misinterpreted, there's a deeper truth to it that resonates with many spiritual traditions.
Okay.
It's the understanding that our inner world shapes our outer world.
They also talked about the importance of forgiveness, didn't they?
They did. They suggested that holding on to anger and resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Forgiveness is often misunderstood as condoning or excusing harmful actions.
Right, but true forgiveness is about releasing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. It's about recognizing our shared humanity and choosing to move forward with compassion and understanding.
It's a challenging practice, but one that they argue is essential for creating a more harmonious world.
They suggest that holding on to anger and resentment creates blockages in our energy field,
Okay.
preventing us from experiencing true peace and happiness.
They also emphasize the power of gratitude.
Yes, they suggested that cultivating a sense of gratitude can shift our entire perspective,
Okay.
helping us to focus on the positive aspects of our lives and attract more abundance.
Gratitude is a powerful practice that's been shown to have numerous benefits both physically and emotionally.
Absolutely. It helps to reduce stress, improve sleep, boost our immune system, and increase overall feelings of well-being.
It's like shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have.
Right.
From what's wrong to what's right.
And in doing so, we open ourselves to a greater experience of joy, contentment, and connection.
They also talked about the importance of connecting with our true nature, which they described as a spark of the divine.
Right, a fragment of the universal consciousness.
They suggested that this connection to our true nature is not something we need to search for outside ourselves.
It's already within us, we just need to learn how to access it.
It's like we've been given this incredible gift, but we've forgotten how to open it.
They offer various practices and techniques to help us rediscover that inner connection.
Like what?
They talk about meditation, mindfulness, and the power of intention.
Meditation has become increasingly popular in recent years as more and more people are discovering its benefits for reducing stress, improving focus, and cultivating a sense of inner peace.
And mindfulness is another practice that's gaining widespread recognition. It's about bringing our attention to the present moment, observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and cultivating a sense of awareness.
And the power of intention. What did they say about that?
They emphasize the importance of setting clear intentions, aligning our actions with our goals, and focusing focusing our energy on what we want to create in our lives.
Like setting a destination on our GPS, and then taking the necessary steps to get there.
And they suggest that our intentions are most powerful when they are aligned with our highest good, with the well-being of ourselves and others.
They also talked about the importance of living in alignment with universal laws. What do they mean by that?
They're referring to the principles that govern the functioning of the universe, such as the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, and the law of balance. They suggest that when we live in harmony with these laws, we create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
So it's like we're playing by the rules of the game.
Precisely.
And when we do, things tend to work out a lot better.
But they also caution against seeing these laws as rigid or deterministic.
Oh, yeah.
They emphasize that we have free will and the ability to make choices that influence our experiences.
So it's not about being passive or simply accepting whatever comes our way.
No, it's about understanding the principles at play and making conscious choices that align with our highest good.
And they suggest that this alignment with universal laws leads to a sense of purpose.
Right, a feeling of being connected to something greater than ourselves.
Like finding our place in the universal orchestra.
Yeah.
Playing our unique part in the symphony of existence.
And that sense of purpose, they argue, is essential for human happiness and fulfillment.
Right. It's what gives our lives meaning and direction.
Like having a compass to guide us through the journey of life rather than just wandering aimlessly.
Okay.
And the beings from Apu are not simply presenting these ideas in abstract terms.
Right.
They also share practical advice on how to apply these principles in our daily lives.
Like what?
They talk about things like the importance of forgiveness, compassion, and gratitude, qualities that can transform our relationships and create a more harmonious world.
They also emphasize the power of love, which they describe as the most potent force in the universe.
Yes, they suggest that love is not just an emotion, but a fundamental energy that connects us all.
It's like that saying, love is the answer.
Maybe they're onto something.
I know, right?
And perhaps the most important takeaway from their message is this: we are not alone.
We are part of a vast, interconnected web of life.
Okay.
And we are supported by forces beyond our comprehension.
It's a message of hope, a reminder that even in the face of challenges and uncertainties, there's a greater plan unfolding.
And that we have the power to choose our role in that plan.
Okay.
To align with the forces of love, light, and wisdom, and to contribute to the creation of a more beautiful and harmonious world.
Before we go any further, I just want to remind everyone to subscribe to the Quantum Soul channel and give this video a like if you're enjoying the deep dive.
Yes, we really appreciate your support.
Okay, so we talked about the universal ecosystem, those dire warnings, and the importance of spiritual development.
Right.
But what really struck me was their description of traveling through a Zendra.
Yeah, it sounds like a truly mind-blowing experience. A journey through a portal, bending space and time,
Yeah.
leading to a planet in the Alpha Centauri system. Pretty amazing. They describe it as like a doorway to other dimensions, a shortcut across these vast distances. But it sounds like more than just a physical journey,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. It's like a metaphor for expanding consciousness, breaking free from the limitations of our current perceptions.
And this planet that they describe, this advanced civilization in Alpha Centauri, it's like a glimpse into a potential future for humanity.
Right. They describe a society that's in harmony with nature, where technology is used for the benefit of all,
Right.
and where people are connected through a deep sense of unity and purpose.
It's fascinating how these accounts often depict advanced extraterrestrial civilizations as being like more spiritually evolved than humanity.
It's as if they're reflecting back to us an image of what we could become if we were to embrace a more holistic, interconnected way of being.
Yeah, like they're saying, hey, look, this is what's possible. You have the potential to create this too.
Yeah.
But you need to shift your priorities, change your way of thinking, and start working together.
It's a message of hope amidst the warnings, a reminder that we're not destined to destroy ourselves.
Right.
We have the capacity to evolve,
Right.
to learn from our mistakes, and to create a better future.
And it's not just about some far-off future on another planet. They suggest we can start creating that future right here, right now.
Yes.
By changing the way we think, the way we treat each other, and the way we interact with our planet.
It's about making conscious choices,
Yeah.
aligning our actions with our highest values, and contributing to the collective evolution of consciousness.
Speaking of consciousness, they had some pretty intriguing things to say about the nature of reality.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They suggest that reality isn't fixed or objective, but rather it's fluid
Yeah.
and malleable,
Yeah.
influenced by our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions.
It's a concept that's been explored in various spiritual traditions, and even in some branches of quantum physics. The idea that the observer plays a role in shaping reality, that consciousness is not just a passive receiver of information, but an active participant in the creation of the world around us.
It's like that saying, we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Our perceptions color our reality.
Right.
And our beliefs shape our experiences.
They suggest that by changing our beliefs,
Yes.
by expanding our awareness,
Right.
by choosing to see the world through a lens of love, compassion, and interconnectedness, we can literally change our reality.
It's a powerful concept, isn't it? The idea that we have the power to co-create our world, to shape our destiny,
Yeah.
to manifest a more harmonious and fulfilling experience.
It's a message that empowers us to take responsibility for our lives, to step into our power as conscious creators, and to contribute to the evolution of consciousness on this planet.
Exactly.
It's not about denying the challenges we face or pretending that everything is perfect, right? It's about recognizing our potential to create a better world, to be the change we want to see.
And perhaps that's the most profound message of all. We're not just passive observers in the unfolding drama of the universe. We are active participants, co-creators of our reality,
Right.
and our choices matter.
So what does all of this mean for us here and now? What can we take away from these accounts and apply to our own lives?
For me, it's a reminder to stay curious, to keep exploring, to challenge my own assumptions,
Right.
and to be open to new possibilities. It's about cultivating a sense of wonder.
Yeah.
Remembering that we live in a mysterious and awe-inspiring universe that's full of surprises.
It's about remembering that we're not alone, that we're part of something much bigger than ourselves.
Yes.
And that we have the power to make a difference.
It's about choosing love over fear, connection over separation, and hope over despair.
It's about recognizing that spark of the divine within ourselves and within all beings. And it's about living our lives with intention, purpose, and a deep sense of gratitude for this incredible gift of life.
Well said.
If you could travel through a Zendra and ask these beings one question, what would it be? It's something to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on The Quantum Soul. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share with your friends. And be sure to check out the 2 videos on your screen for more mind-expanding content. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.